it'll be a few minutes before everybody gets on. Oh. Ow. Okay.
I'm just gonna walk over here. Freedom go. I think the chickens are ready for you to feed them, Gabe.
Yeah, they look hungry. Anybody else? Oh, there's somebody. Why is it not showing us? I don't know. Oh, message. There we go. Okay. Welcome to great. In the world? There we go. Field Farms, hey, how's it going? Oh, I hit the there. Hi. Field Farms, hey, how's it going? Hi, Haven Cabin, how's it going? And your first name is, my screen's cracked on my phone, so it's kind of hard to see. Hello. My barn get any damage, Michigan Sheep Farmer? Yes, our barn
is down.
Got destroyed. And it's a mess. But the good news from it is insurance. The adjuster will be out on Tuesday. They were pretty booked. They had a lot of other damage in the area. So fortunately, somebody else that was, I guess, scheduled before us, they live not too far from us. So the adjuster will be able to come by at the same time.
And no sheep were injured.
Yeah, no sheep were injured, fortunately. No people were hurt. Yeah, no dogs. All the doggies were fine too. So we're pretty blessed as far as that goes. I wish it would leave it all lit there. Seth Acker, good evening. How's it going? I'm not sure if it's updating our messages because these haven't changed in a while. Thanks, Michigan Sheep Farmer. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's disappointing. So I guess we could show you that while we're over here. So you can see that the barn is actually a lot farther along than what you guys have seen on the channel. And essentially what happened is, so all of the studs were toe-nailed in. So you can see how the screws are at an angle. These ones are actually from an angle from this side, and then this one would have been in from an angle from this side. And those ones even just got pulled straight out. The wind that came across, so when you have an open building, it creates more of a lift like an airplane wing would make whenever air flows over it. That's exactly what it did to the barn, unfortunately, and it just lifted it. And once it lifted it, once it had it off of the walls, it was able to just kind of push it. So,
well, it pushed that wall of that barn too.
Yeah, and when we walk back up there, unfortunately,
it was just wind.
And yeah, I mean, there was no tornadoes reported or spotted, I guess, but I'm not sure if that's completely what the verdict was. Either way, it was windy enough that it destroyed it. So we do believe it was straight line wind because we had a lot of neighbors that talked about, well, I guess not necessarily neighbors, but they don't live too far from us. People that live a couple miles away talked about how strong the winds were. So that's why we're pretty sure it was straight line. Yes, let's see here. Oh, no, I already read that one, sorry. The sun's in my eyes, it's kind of harsh. But there's George. So that was actually who we were wondering about because we didn't see him that morning. So we were a little curious of whether or not he got hurt. But yeah, so Seth Acker, we're pretty sure it was a straight line win. Dan Shadowin, hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Good evening. I'm saying good evening to you too.
Good evening.
And so sorry. Hey, you know, that's actually something we wanted to point out. So all of the people that when we posted it, all of you were so kind and thoughtful and just said, hey, we're sorry, we're sending prayers, and we absolutely love that. That was honestly most encouraging thing that we could get because we built this. Me and her built this whole thing together, and to see it destroyed in that in such a quick time.
Well, it helps
is,
us keep in perspective what was truly important too. You know,
does.
nobody was hurt, no animals were hurt.
Yeah.
It is a building, it's replaceable, but
it's disheartening.
it's frustrating.
Yeah, to say the least. Gage is actually the one that blew it over.
Yeah. Cheyenne says the big bad wolf did.
But yeah, so we're very blessed that nobody got hurt, no animals got hurt, no dogs got hurt, because George actually is out here with the sheep most of the time, and the sheep were actually in the barnyard paddock when it happened, and that's why we were kind of like, oh man, you know, what are we gonna do if, you know, George is he's a good dog, and obviously I would get another livestock guard, but he's not replaceable.
He's not just a
No,
livestock dog.
he's unique. Okay, let's catch up with some of these messages. So Jay Barron, sorry, glad to see you're all okay. Thank you. We're very happy that everybody's okay too. Ryan McLean, howdy from Maine. Hey, how's it going? I bet it's probably colder up there. Are you going to be able to salvage much of the materials when you're building? Dan Shadowin asked that. As far as the materials, you can see the roof. Let me walk back up here and I'll show you. The roof is actually, if we had a giant crane to be able to lift the whole roof as one piece, and we could actually probably be able to just lift it up, throw the wall, you know, throw some walls back up over here, and then be able to set it back on there. The roof sustained minimal damage. Yeah, but the thing is that insurance has got to come out and do their assessment. And my assumption would be, we've never had any things ever get damaged. You know, and Chrissy and I, we built a lot of things around here, and we've never had any issues. This lean-to and all that. And what is weird to us is we just don't know what to expect with the insurance company. State Farm, everybody else that's got them around here says that they're pretty good. If you look straight through here, it's almost like nothing. It literally looks like the roof was lifted up and just set down. There's trusses back there that got broke because they landed on the concrete wall and that busted them. This truss right here that landed on the tractor, it obviously busted. The one back here, I had to cut this in order to get access to the tractor because this is insured as well. And the insurance company, the adjuster said that we needed to have access to it so he can see it too. And the tractor actually runs fine still, but it did sustain some damage. It crushed. So when this got crushed in right here, you see the imprint. When that got crushed in, it came down here and smashed this into the radiator. And you can see where we started it up and it started leaking after it got warm. So we turned it off. We'll just let the adjuster see. But I'm sure as far as transmission stuff goes, it's fine. The frame, the engine and everything is the frame, and there's no cracks that we could see.
Finding parts should be fun though.
Yeah, finding parts is hard. Okay, so let me catch back up with so as far as the materials being salvageable, yeah, a lot of it, as far as taking it apart to put it back up, I don't am necessarily approving that.
Well, I don't think there's a good way to take them apart without damaging them in the process.
And that's possible too. But so I hope that answers your questions, Dan. High Haven Cabin, better days ahead. You're right. It'll get better. This too will pass.
We'll build it better this time, right?
Well,
Not that there is anything wrong. I mean, we can improvise.
I don't know what we're going to change really.
Maybe.
I liked how it was. So yeah, Ron Zimmer, wishing you well. Glad no one was hurt. Thank you. We're glad no one was hurt either. Racer 7954. God bless. Happy you're safe. From Oregon. Oh, dang, that's a long ways away. That's pretty cool. We've been to the the West Coast actually, the Pacific Northwest specifically. I was stationed at Fort Lewis. Yeah.
Out there.
It is pretty. Looking on from Minnesota. Glad everyone's safe. Thank you, Gary Berg. Gary, did you get much damage up there? I'm just kind of curious if you guys got any. I know a lot, you know, Iowa they got hammered, and so did some of Wisconsin and Illinois. And northern, I guess central Missouri up a little. There wasn't near as much damage where we're at. We just happened to be lucky, I guess. Miller and Company, God bless you. Thank you. God bless you too. Ryan McLean, it was in the 70s here today. I am also a big Allis Chalmers geek like you, but I run the letter series and D series. I actually like the letter series too. We had a WD-45, we had a B, and we had a 190 XT before we got our 7045. And the 7045, as you guys have seen, does all of our real work, like cutting hay, baling it. The 5020, we use it to feed because it's four-wheel drive, so it's convenient and it doesn't make as much of a mess as far as making ruts and stuff in the pastures. But yeah, I mean, I like all the Allis Chalmers actually. My grandpa had a WD. That's actually kind of what pushed it. Well, not pushed us, I guess, but that's what got us into Allis Chalmers. It'll be a total loss because of how much it would cost to have it dismantled versus how much. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I'm sure that that's probably what the insurance company is going to say. Yeah, I'm with you as far as that guess. But this is the first time we've ever dealt with it. And actually, we used to have USAA insurance, but USAA doesn't do farm insurance. So that's why we ended up switching to State Farm.